Hello everyone, welcome to PHENOMSOUND. I have a real nasty bass for today, guys. I love it so much, check this out.
Destroy the Matrix.
If you like my content, make sure to subscribe to my channel to not miss out my next videos. And make sure to check my Patreon page, where I have a huge library of FL Studio projects, samples and presets. So I really hope to see you there. Alright, and this is how it sounds solo. Alright, let's start from scratch, and the first oscillator is going to be the Monster 7. And this one is going to be the Squelchy one. Set the octave to +1 and let's FM from B on the first oscillator, set it at around 40%. And over here on the second oscillator we are going to use sync, and it's going to be around this position. Let's move the level on both of them all the way down and drag the first LFO to the level of the first oscillator. And drag it to the FM from B knob and set it all the way up. Let's use the noise, and it's going to be this high passed one. Set the pitch at this position, move the level all the way down and drag the first LFO to it. Make sure it's set all the way up as well. And let's check what we've got now. Let's move the master level all the way up. Nothing too fancy so far. Let's enable the filter and set it to the high notch 12. Drag the first LFO to the cutoff. Hold Shift Alt and click on it to make it bipolar. Move it down a bit to make it look like this. Move the resonance all the way down and drag the LFO to it as well. Set it at around 65 or 70, something like this. Set drive at 60% and move the frequency all the way up. Drag the LFO to it and set it at -70. Let's change the first LFO envelope type, and I'll just make it simple and use a pre-saved envelope type, but you can draw something like this. Nice, let's give a second oscillator a bit of a detune. Set the fine tune at around 13. This works fine. And we are going to use the second LFO. Make it look like this. Turn on the trigger and set the rate to 1 full bar. And drag it to the sync. And set it at around 2 o'clock. It adds a bit of a variety to the sound, so the whole bar, it sounds quite different, you know. Nice, let's go to the FXS tab and turn on the hyper dimension. Let's move the detune up a bit and mix at 50%. Let's set the size on the dimension all the way down and a mix at around 10%. We are going to use the flanger on this one. Nothing too aggressive, just around 65% will be fine. And turn on the EQ. Set both EQ bands to bell type. Drag the first LFO to the frequency. Make it look like this and move the gain up at around 10 decibel. And let's drag the LFO over here as well. This time move the gain down a bit. And we are going to use another effect. It's going to be the filter. Let's use the flanger minus on this one. Move it down a bit and drag the LFO to it. Set the knob at around 280 or 290. And the LFO at -1. So the movement of the automation is really minimum on this one. Drag it to the resonance. Set it at around 50 and set drive at 25%. Nice, and turn on the compressor. Let's use the multiband compression. Set gain at 8 decibel and make it look like this. Perfect. I think we are done. Let's check the clean sound. And there's quite a lot going on our post-processing channel. Here I've used the multiband compressor with this kind of settings. A transient processor. To add a bit more attack to the sound and to remove all the unnecessary noise. So it's quite neat. And also I've used a Maximus for the compression. You can copy paste the second settings over here. And here is an awesome frequency shifter by the Melda Production, which makes the sound quite phasey and adds a bit of movement to it. Love this effect so much. I just set drive at knob at 45% and set shift in this position. Okay, here I have another compressor, which is the one and only OTT. Which makes the sound a lot fatter at this point, but in this case and sometimes it adds quite a lot of artifacts to the sound. Check this out. So I've stopped playing the sound, but you hear some noises and some probably frequency shifter echo. I don't know what kind of sound it is, so it's better to resample the sound and get rid of those nasty noises to keep your mix clean, and of course to reduce the memory use. And here we go. I have a FabFilter Pro Q with some low cut going on here and picking of the high frequencies. You hear all this mud. So we got rid of it, and I've added some stereo imaging with the help of the Isotope Ozone 5. I made the sound really narrow on the lows and mids and widened a bit of the high mids. And finally there is a Maximus with default settings like this. And yep, that's our final sound. The processing on this one is quite intensive, but it sounds quite awesome, clean, and you can use any tools that you like to make this sound better. Let's check it once again in the mix.
Destroy the matrix.
Okay, that's all that I wanted to show you today, guys. Hope you enjoyed this sound and my drop that I've done using this one. And of course, you can find this particular project, samples and presets from it on my Patreon page. I already have quite a big library of preset samples and FL Studio projects, so don't miss out, guys. I would really appreciate your support. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Don't forget to share your opinion on this one. I'm really curious to hear what you think of my videos. I'm open to any suggestions on the next ones. Have a wonderful day and see you in my next video. Bye!